Hey guys, welcome to week 36 Connects You, and the theme for this week is reflection. So first of all, we want to ask ourselves, what is reflection? Through reflection, students become aware of their own thinking processes. Students assess the why and how of the learning and determine what needs to be done as a result. It is important for reflection to be transparent. And by transparent, what we mean is you should be able to share that with others. So you should be able to put into words and express how you think you're doing, or you should be able to put it at least into writing and maybe journal how you're doing. Why is reflection important? So I do like this quote from Guy Claxton in a book that he wrote. He says, "Powerful learners are reflective. They are able to step back and take stock of progress. They are able to mull over their actions and consider how they might have done things differently. Good learners are self-aware, able to contemplate their actions to continually grow their learning power." So again, I think that's one thing we really pushed for this year was that growth mindset and the understanding that it's okay that you don't know something, you just don't know it yet. So it's important to continue that, to have that belief and that mindset, and reflection is a big part of that. Another reason reflection is important, learners need to be able to reflect in order to own or make decisions about their learning. So we had you guys do an Own It Learner profile whenever you joined with CPDLF. And the reason for that was not for extra work. It was to kind of teach you guys the lesson that in cyber school, you have to own your learning, own your mistakes, own your successes, and realize that you're in the driver's seat and nobody else. So reflection is a big part of that owning process. Learners who can reflect are more likely to be engaged in their learning, and reflecting creates active learners. So active versus passive learning. Passive learning is pretty much what this kid's doing here. Reading textbooks, doing whatever our teacher says, take tests, and then forget the material that you just learned. Whereas active learning, you're engaged in conversations with your peers and your teachers, you're asking questions out of inquiry, you're figuring out the answers on your own, and you're contributing and also trying to teach others as well. And whenever you're engaged in the curriculum, you're also engaged with yourself too, whenever you're reflecting. It's important to make time to reflect. There's different levels that you could be reflecting. It's important to do a daily reflection. You could be reflecting on, how did my day go? What could I have done differently today? Look at your week. Did you do everything you were supposed to accomplish? Or maybe you're losing some motivation. How could I do this differently? Think back on a monthly level and also a yearly level. So, we have about 20 days left in school. And this is the time of year that you should be doing a yearly reflection. How do you think you did? What could you have done differently? Again, and it's important to own it. It's not, what could my teacher have done differently? What could my mom have done differently? This is a personal thing. You should be asking what you could have done differently, or what habits you'd like to carry over into next year. Some possible reflective questions that you could ask yourself. What am I learning and why? How did the learning go? What were the tricky parts and why was it so tricky for me? What new learning can I celebrate? So it's important to acknowledge when you learned something new, and it's kind of exciting when you do learn something new. What helped the learning happen? What do I need more help with? Okay, so through reflection, we challenge our assumptions, ask new questions, make sense of our experience, and in the process, put what we've learned into deeper memory as active learners. So again, the more engaged and active you are and you're collaborating, the more likely you're going to put that information into a deeper memory, deeper part of your brain that you're going to be able to remember for quite a while, instead of just learning material to take a quiz tomorrow and then forget it. So your reflection question for this week, in a private comment, I would like you to answer, why do you think it is important to reflect?